I'm Gary, the old geek guy, and I recently purchased these glasses. These are Meta Generation 2 Ray-Ban glasses, and I did it primarily for my low vision that I have. I have impaired vision from a couple of problems I've talked about in the past. But anyway, what I wanted to do is try these glasses out using my mobility scooter, these glasses, and a trip to Disneyland. And I want to go through downtown Disney and kind of show you how it works. One of the things that really impressed me was the stabilization of these glasses when making movies. I was really impressed because I was bouncing around. Disneyland is not a great place for mobility scooters as far as smoothness is concerned. Most of the area in Disneyland and even in downtown Disney and the Esplanade are kind of rough, and you bounce around a lot. But these glasses held really steady. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll get right into it and see you at the end. So here we are walking alongside the tram loading area on the main station getting into Disneyland. This takes you directly into Disneyland. Now we won't be taking this because I want to take you to or through downtown Disney. So we're going to go to the elevators and cross over Disney Way and down along the pathway and into the security entrance, and from there I'll start filming again. I don't like to film at the entrance because I'd be a little bit suspicious. But anyway, here we go. Downtown Disney, and on the left as you go into downtown Disney, you'll find the monorail that goes directly into Disneyland. And that big concrete thing above you is actually the monorail track. Also on the right-hand side is Legos. They're still doing a little bit of construction of Legos. I don't know what, but it's been doing that for a long time, but it has been open. On the left side is a great place to get pins. Disney is famous for trading pins, and as a matter of fact, just at the entrance of Adventureland, there's several tables of people who do a lot of pin trading in there. So now we're going deeper into Disneyland. On the left-hand side would be Splitsville, which is the bowling alley for the downtown Disney area. On the right-hand side, you can't see it too well, but there's a kind of a rotunda. Actually, it's a restaurant, a real nice restaurant. On the left side is also a restaurant, mostly a burger joint, but apparently they call it craft burgers, which makes it high society, I guess. The rotunda walk is really kind of nice. A lot of people in it. That's no walls, just has a cover, and they have like almost outdoor eating for that reason. And we're getting into the area here. Just on the left side would be Wenzel's Pretzels. We passed a fountain a little later. And on the right-hand side are the upscale stores. I call them upscale for being Disneyland, or I should say downtown Disney, because they are. Some perfumes and all these kind of things for women and men too, but very upscale, very expensive, I have a feeling. And as we go along here, we're going to approach Starbucks on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side is the unloading area for the tram that came out of the parking structure area that we passed earlier. This is the unloading area, and a lot of people get on and off here, especially in the morning. They get a lot of people coming off. On the right-hand side now is the World of Disney we're coming up on. We're passing Starbucks right now. The World of Disney is the next right-hand side. It's a merchandise area. A lot of merch for Disney and Disneyland, and of course California Adventure. So a lot of people in there, Mickey Mouse ears, mugs, so on and so forth, jerseys, pajamas. They think of everything for Disneyland. It's kind of nice. Expensive. On the left-hand side, we're getting into the Esplanade. We're passing a fountain that's not been working for a while. And it seems like the reason is because they are constructing a new Porto's restaurant on the right-hand side. You can see the walls as we pass on the right-hand side. The walls that are up, I can't imagine it's going to be that big, but it's a huge area that they've blocked out for Porto's restaurant. They used to have Earl of Sandwich. Earl of Sandwich is at the beginning of downtown Disney at the other end where we entered earlier. And we're in the Esplanade, and on the left-hand side as you go through here would be Disneyland entrance, and on the right-hand side would be Disney California Adventure entrance. Well, we're going to the Disneyland side as we get over here through this kind of narrow spot over here. I kind of like to go a little further to get into the lines because they're not quite so busy. So we're coming up on those lines right now. So I'm going to get in one, and in just a moment we'll be inside Disneyland. Okay, I'm sitting in front of the train station facing the main plaza in Disneyland. It's the street where the cars, or the old-fashioned cars, and the omnibus, and also the horse-drawn trolley drop off passengers and pick up passengers to take them to the other end of Main Street, which would be the castle in that area. And that's all they do. They just go up and down Main Street very slowly. I've been on a lot of them. I like them a lot. In fact, you can probably see in my, I think I have in my portfolio, so to speak, a thing about transportation in Disneyland. It has to do with all those things. Kind of fun. It is. I go on them all the time. I really enjoy them.
Years ago, they had a lot of horse-drawn carriages and such when you first opened the park. And now it's just down to the one-horse trolley.
Okay, so now the picture of a horse-drawn trolley that's passing by, and in a second you're going to see an omnibus that's going to be passing by as well. A lot of people hang around here because this is the entrance, kind of the entrance for the train station. They just barely have come in, and they're looking at their maps, and they're trying to decide where to go. And in this area too, it's very common to see the characters, the meet and greet. Here's Donald Duck right in front of our eyes. I didn't realize he was going to be here, but as I was sitting there, he is.
Right in front of me here.
And it's really funny because he really knows how to pose for the camera. These Disney characters are so much fun, and I bet the people inside them have a lot of fun too. But I'll bet it gets really hot during summer days in there because they're kind of confined in there. But that's Donald Duck. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, a whole bunch more come there too. And I think there should be, oh yes, there's one of the old-fashioned cars just going to be loading up or unloading who's here, then loading up to go back up to the castle. And here is the omnibus, the double-decker. Very popular, very popular. A lot of people love to ride that, and they love to ride on top, of course. So that's where they are, on top, going back up to the castle as well. Now I'm traveling down Main Street. I wanted to give you an idea of how Main Street feels on a mobility scooter. A lot of people here, although it's been busier than it is right now, of course you have to be really careful of children and steer out of their way. And it is because they aren't careful. This is Disneyland. This is their place, so to speak. And I'm just really careful, and I don't want to be in their way, and I don't want to hurt them, obviously. But I'm just very careful around them. And a lot of times mothers will say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And I always tell them, "Hey, don't worry about it. They're kids. This is Disneyland." And it is. So I'm very careful around kids. Going very slow. A lot of the mobility scooters will go faster than me. And we're coming up on about the mid-section of the downtown, of Main Street for Disneyland. On the right-hand side, a little further up, will be Starbucks. There are 3 Starbucks in the Disneyland complex. There's one in downtown Disney, there's one in Disney California Adventure, and then, of course, the Disneyland one we'll be passing right now. We're going up to the main hub for Disneyland, where all the different lands kind of peel off. You have on the right-hand side, facing the castle. On the right-hand side, you would have Tomorrowland, and then the castle itself. When you go through the castle, is Fantasyland. On the left would be the very first would be Adventureland, and then Frontierland. Frontierland changes into New Orleans Square, and of course, there's more things over there. So this is the hub that we're coming off to.
It's not too bad. Not a whole lot of people.
As I mentioned before, there's not nearly as many people as there normally is. It depends on the time of year. March is spring break. May is also the date night for Disneyland. Now, graduates, that's really big. And that lasts for a whole month, sometimes 5 or 6 weeks. So it gets really busy then too.
are
So coming up to the
hub,
main hub,
that's the hub coming up.
coming up close.
The background.
One of the things about the hub is where the statue of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse are, and there are people take a lot of pictures at that statue. Here we're going into the hub right now, directly, and right in front of us is that statue. I don't know if you can make it out yet or not, but it's there. And people are taking pictures. As a matter of fact, some people taking pictures right now. And in the background is the castle, which makes a great picture spot. And I'm going to turn left here, and I'm going to park here because I'm going to show you something about the planters in Disneyland. As you can see, they're really beautiful. They call it Disneyland planting because they plant them so close together that immediately they have a beautiful display of flowers. It really is a great way to put in the plants. And they're all over Disneyland. A picture of the omnibus, as you can see, passing by. Again, a lot of people on that. They really like it, especially the upper decker, but they're always going up there. Now I am going back down towards the train station where I was originally watching Donald Duck and such. I'm going back down, and I'm going to get out of Disneyland and show you just briefly the picnic area and also the another area in downtown Disney that kids just love. But I've got to dodge a lot of people. I'm very careful. I'm not going fast at all. I'm probably about 1/3 speed or even less, and walking speed and not quite that fast. People on mobility scooters all over Disneyland, all over Disneyland. You have to be very, very careful. I'm going left because I'm going to go out the left-hand side of the exit for Disneyland. I got kind of in trouble. I kind of got into a lot of traffic of people going my way, and you can see I'm steering out of the way. Whoa, everything's close. I'm going very slow and stopping a lot as well, and they finally get through it, and here I am. On the left-hand side where I am right now is where Walt Disney and also President Lincoln give their animated talks. This is the area I was talking about. The kids love it. It's a grassy area, and they run and play. It's on the left-hand side over here. I didn't really turn because I'm trying to be careful where I'm driving, but it's not grassy. It's actually fake grass or artificial turf, and it looks really good. It looks like real grass. And this is the picnic area here. The picnic area where we go in all the time to eat our lunch when we take our lunch with it. Yes, you can take your lunch to Disneyland. They don't mind. You can even take it into the park if you want to do it and eat in the park. A lot of people do. So this is the picnic area for the lunch. And that's about it. I'm glad you watched it, and I know you'll someday have a chance to go. And if you're on a mobility scooter, they work great, and I really love these classes. They work great too.